Hey, what's up everyone? Welcome back to the channel and welcome to another weekly outlook video. And I guess as well, welcome to a new trading month, right? We just wrapped up January, which happened to be probably my best trading month since I began trading. So hopefully, February and these upcoming weeks of February turns out to be, or kind of continues in the same vein, right? So hopefully I'll see another great trading month. So I already went through my pairs, cleared my charts, and kind of just identified the opportunities that I think are the clearest for me. They're not super clear, but I'll just talk them through and show you guys what I'm looking at, right? So basically, we'll start with GBPAUD, all the GBPs, and then work my way down through the other pairs, right? So we've been in this kind of massive downward trend on the GBP. We've had a few pulses up, kind of in this, we had this big trend here, but then we sort of ranging ever since then, right? But what we have here, if we just look at this immediate sort of downtrend, we had this trend line that was being formed and it just recently got broken, right? Price is currently testing this level here. I'll just draw it in. These sort of wicks here, right? Let's just call this a level, right? So the price is currently testing that level, right? So depending on what price does from here, I'll be expecting it to probably have some sort of a retracement. If it comes into these recently broken highs, which is what I'm identifying, and shows some rejection at this level, because of the break of this trend line and because of this impulsive move forming clearly a higher high, this was the last high on the daily chart, broke this high, right? So if it comes back down to this sort of level, these highs here, I'll look for a long position, right, and target something like that. So if we look at the lower time frame, you could kind of see what it looks like a little bit clearer, right? So we have this high here that was recently broken. Price had this massive sell, rebounded, tried to go lower, it couldn't, formed a higher high, right? So this high is higher than this high. Yes, it sold lower, but it formed a double bottom, right? It showed that sellers couldn't really push the price any lower, and since then we had this massive recovery. So all I'm looking for is probably, because it broke the recent trend line, I'll look for a retest. If I see decent price action here, I'll look for long positions. All right, so that's GBPAUD, GBPCAD. Jump back to the daily. So same sort of thing here. We had this kind of range that's been happening for a while, but there's kind of bullish market structure, right? We just kind of pull loose trend line. We can see prices making higher highs as well as higher lows. But what recently happened is we had a crack, a big impulsive move cracking these recent highs. So I'm looking at price to hopefully come back into this area, so show some signs of rejection, and I'll look for further long positions. All right, so if price does retrace into my level, I'll look for a further push up, right? So something like that. If I just jump to the forward time frame, we could see what that looks like. So these are the levels I've looked at, right? Yes, there's these levels here which price is currently rejecting, but this is most recent, so I'll wait for something like that to happen. I have my alerts set just above these highs, so if price comes back into the level with some rejection, I'll look for a long position. All right, GBPCHF, jump back to the daily. So nothing super clear on this for me. Price is just currently stuck in this range, right? So we have this kind of range here. If I see some rejection, right, some sort of bearish price action like this, maybe, right, something like that, then maybe I'll get involved in short positions, right? The only way I'll get involved in long positions from here is if I see a clear crack above, retest, right, and show some rejection at the level, and then take long positions, right? So I just found this pair to be in an interesting stage right now, so I'll just be keeping an eye on it, right? So it's highlighted in red, so nothing, I'm not looking for anything anytime soon, but it's in a decent a decent kind of area, right? So we also have this here as well, but that's probably not valid right now. I'm just looking at this sort of level here, right? So seems in an interesting position for me, so I'll just be keeping an eye on it. GBPJPY. So this is what happened last week. So we had price crack above these highs on the daily, these highs just here, right? So we had these highs formed, price pushed lower, came and gave a kind of double top, couldn't retrace deep enough, and then we had the bulls take over and push price a lot higher, right? So because we've been in this massive uptrend for a while, you know, price has just been forming higher highs, higher lows. Probability is, you know, price will continue to push higher, right? So if we drop to the forward time frame, you'll see it a little bit clearer. So every time that price pushed higher, the sellers weren't able to take price lower, right? You can see that sort of price action here, right? And then bulls finally took over and, you know, pushed price a lot higher. So what I'll be looking for, the clearest move for me would be a push back into the level with some rejection and then go long. There are these highs here, you know, this is a minor level, so I'll pay attention to this as well. So, you know, we might see something like that, or we might see price push all the way lower, right? Or, you know, price might just take off from where it is right now, you don't know. But I'll keep an eye on it, right? So as I said, I just found it a little bit interesting, so I'll be keeping an eye on it in, you know, the upcoming weeks, right? So something like that. I'll just draw in the minor level just here. Probably see that clear on the 1 hour time frame, maybe. Yeah, there you go. So you have these sort of highs here, right? So I'll just keep an eye on it and see how price kind of forms and, you know, what it really wants to do. Euro AUD. So I've been, you know, I recently closed off my sell position, which I caught from, I believe, here, right? Closed off most of my profits at these lows here. We had this, it's clearer on the 4 hour time frame, but, you know, we had this massive downtrend. Price is currently testing that trend line again, right? There's no immediate setups for me on this pair. We might see a rejection of the trend line at this point and then push back lower, right? It's a fairly strong trend line, or it has been fairly strong for a while. Plus, price has been selling on Euro AUD for quite some time, right? It's been in this massive downward trend. So, you know, chances are the downward trend may continue. All right, so I just think it's in an interesting place right now. A couple things could happen. We could see price push higher. We could see price respect the level that it's at right now and then push lower. I'll just be keeping an eye on it, you know, so we might see a crack above, sort of test this level again, you know, something like this. Come back to the trend line and then reverse. That might happen, or we just might see price from where it is right now just sort of form this sort of movement, right? But, you know, I'll just keep an eye on it. As I said, I think it's in an interesting place right now, so I just want to keep an eye on it and see what price does. EURJPY, I'm just keeping this one on my list because, you know, it kind of played out exactly as I was expecting it. Whether or not it will respect this level that it's at right now and reverse because of this sort of bearish reversal type pattern that I'm seeing, I don't know. I'm still kind of waiting to see what price is going to do. If we just look on a 4 hour time frame, you can see price cracked above the level, but it's currently respecting this trend line, right? So we have these lows that were formed. It was broken, but it's now testing it as resistance, right? Previous support, now testing it as resistance in combination with the zone. But price, I mean, it is rejecting it, but I don't know, right? It's kind of, I don't know. I'll just be keeping an eye on it. It pushed a little bit higher than I wanted it to. But like I say, it's in an interesting area for me right now. If I start to see some bearish market structure, then I'll probably get involved in shorts. equally, we could just see price, you know, just continue, because you know, it's been in a very bullish trend. You know, it's been buying for quite some time, right? So after this massive sell, but it's been buying for quite some time. So I don't know, for me, EURJPY just has to show its hand just a little bit more for me to get involved in something, right? So we could very well see price just push on higher, right? So I don't know. It's highlighted in red. I'll just be keeping an eye on it and see what price action forms, and if I can catch an entry in any direction. Yeah, as I say, it's in this kind of interesting place, I'll call it, right? So let's keep an eye on it. Euro USD, I've moved this one back to red because it's just been, I mean, you guys know what I'm looking for. I want it to come back into this level, show some rejection, and then look for long positions, you know, but it's struggling, right? It tried to push higher, getting some rejections, coming lower. So I don't know, we might see it play out. It might come back into my level. If it does, I'll look for a rejection and then take a long position, right? But the analysis on this pair is still the same as it was for pretty much all of January. Just being really patient on this one and waiting for the clearest of setups, right? CADJPY. This one is not super clear for me. The only reason I have it highlighted is because it's currently at this major resistance level, and price is failing to push lower, right? It tried to push lower, tried here to push lower, but then the bulls took over, as you could see here on Friday, right, with this massive bearish engulfing candle, basically taking out all the price action that happened for, you know, the entire week. It was just cleared out on Friday. What it does from here, I don't know. It might very well continue higher, or, you know, we might just see a reversal, right? But I'll be keeping an eye on it. If I see a clear break above, come back, retest, you know, I'll be looking for a long position, right? We can see what that would look like on the lower time frame, right? So you can see the highs here being formed. Yeah, it's just a matter of keeping an eye on it for me, right? To get involved in shorts on this position, I wouldn't be getting involved in shorts anytime soon, because, you know, it's quite clear bullish price action recently for me. Although, you know, you could kind of argue it's in a range, right? So you have equal highs kind of being formed together with equal lows here, right? I could just draw it out so it's a little bit clearer. So you have that there as being the bottom of your range, and then this here is the top of your range, right? Or I guess you could something like that, right? So it's kind of stuck in this range. I'll just keep an eye on it. As I said, it's red, so, you know, no immediate setups for me, but it's just in an interesting place for me. USDCHF, yeah, still waiting on this to pull back into my area of confluence here. This recent zone that was broken together with, you know, this trend line here. That is all I'm looking for on this pair. Short positions, I just want to see it push a little bit higher back into my zone. It's currently respecting the 0.382 level, and it's struggling to go any higher. But, you know, as I said, I'm just being patient on this pair, waiting for it to pull back into my level and then look for short positions. I'll just neaten this up just a little bit, so something like that, and then adjust this to where price is right now, right? So where are we? There we go. Okay. Yeah, all right, so something like that, right? So I'll just be keeping an eye on it and see if it plays out. AUDCAD, I'm just same analysis as before, right? No major updates on this one. We had the crack of these recent highs, waiting for price to pull back into this level, and we might see price pull even deeper to these highs, right? Let me just pull a fib on this, actually, see what. where we are. All right, so price is currently kind of retesting the 382. My zone lines up nicely with the 50%, and then just below with the 618 are these highs here. Right, so I'm just waiting for a retracement. I'll see what price does. I have an alert set just above the level, so I'll see what price does when it gets to this area, and see what it does from there. Right, so just update this a little bit, but I'm only looking for long positions on this particular pair. Right, so if we see price pull back into the level, show some rejection, then I'll be looking for long positions. Obviously, we've been in this massive uptrend for a while, so for me, the bulls have the market. AUDCHF, interesting setup here that I'm just managing. So we had price, but you guys know the trade, right? So we had price sell based on this reversal pattern that I saw. I entered here on a bearish engulfing pattern on the daily time frame. Stops are currently just above this level, sitting in just under 1 hour profit, and we had this current retest, which I was expecting. I would have taken another entry here, but I didn't want to overexpose myself on this particular pair because of the loss on the order I had last week. But hopefully, you know, I'm just staying patient and we see price achieve final targets. So we'll see how this goes this week. And just last on the list for me is AUDUSD. Let's just jump back to the daily time frame. So we had price recently break this high on the daily time frame. It currently retested on Thursday. It had some rejection on the daily time frame, but on Friday we saw that we had this sell candle, right, and it's currently at the level based on current market open. Right, so I'm just keeping it on my list to see what happens at this level. If we see some rejection, actually I'll just jump to the lower time frame now to see what price is doing. All right, so we had this kind of spike below, but immediately price pulled back above, right? So I don't know, you know, if we see some rejection at this level, we had this kind of doji candle at the level, but price opened back, pushing lower. So I'll wait to see what sort of rejection we get, if we get any rejection, or if it just completely disrespects it and pushes lower. But we had the push lower, immediately went back above, right? So I don't know, I'll be keeping an eye on it to see what it does at this level. Either way, I'm not going to take an entry on Sunday, which is today. Not going to take any entries on a Sunday, so I'll wait to see where this is at tomorrow morning for New York. So yeah, we'll see. We'll keep an eye on it. Right, that's pretty much it for me. That's all I'm looking at this week. Yeah, so I guess obviously if you made it this far, thank you for watching. And obviously if you haven't subscribed, feel free to subscribe, right? If you want to join me on my my trading journey. Anyway, for those of you who actually trade, all the best for the upcoming weeks, and all the best for the month of February. Okay.